Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Representative Tommy Vitolo, and for the first time in about a month, we're live here on Brookline Interactive. Today, my guest is Lisa, I'm going to try it again, Gozashti. I think I got it. Lisa Gozashti from Brookline Booksmith, with someone with a last name that's mispronounced from time to time. I try to get it right. I wish I was better at it. Lisa Gozashti from Brookline Booksmith is here, and we're going to talk about the Booksmith and what's been happening and what will happen there. But if you've seen the show before, you know we start by talking about state and local changes over the last week under COVID-19. I've got my little list down here, so I want to get to that list. But before we even do that, I want to make a point to talk about the upcoming town election. It is Tuesday, June 9th, and there's a number of changes that are really important. I may not get through all of them, but I want to hit some highlights. Number one, the polls are only open from noon until 8 on Tuesday, June 9th. Not the typical times, and at least 4 polling locations have changed. I'm not going to run through the list, but I will give you the information in another way. So you really want to make sure if you're going to vote in person on Tuesday, June 9th, anytime between noon and 8 p.m., that you're going to the right place. And know that the polling locations will be practicing physical distancing. There may be some changes there, but it is available to you. You can also vote by mail. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a website that you can go to and get some of this information. It's just tommyvitolo.com/vote by mail. Now, if you're going to vote by mail, you need to act quickly because you need to request the ballot by, you mail in the request, then they mail you the ballot, then you have to mail the ballot back to the town, and they have to receive it by election day, Tuesday, June 9th. So if you're going to vote by mail, you can go to this website, tommyvitolo.com/vote by mail, to download the application. If you don't have a printer, you can copy all of that information onto a blank piece of paper, but be sure to date and sign it and mail that off to the town clerk immediately. They'll get the ballot, then you got to mail the ballot back immediately so it gets back on Tuesday, June 9th. And it's a town election. There's over 100 candidates. They're not all running in your precinct. There is a competitive select board race, and in many precincts, there are competitive town meeting races. So how can you possibly keep up with all of this in an era when the candidates can't even come knock on your door? You got questions? We got answers. TommyVitolo.com/2020 Brookline candidates has information on every single candidate. It's got their name, their photo, their address, and their League of Women Voters responses to the League of Women Voters of Brookline questionnaire. It also has any institutional endorsements they may have. So if you go to TommyVitolo.com/2020 Brookline candidates, you'll get all of that information. You'll also get information about voting by mail. You'll get information about the way the polling locations have changed. And you'll even learn that the town is still looking for poll workers. If you want to work the polls on election day, go to that website, TommyVitolo.com/2020 Brookline candidates, and follow the link. The pay is $175 for the day. It's roughly 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. You get lunch and you get PPEs, and you get to say you helped keep our democracy strong. And so that's all I'm going to say about the elections, Tuesday, June 9th. Keep your eye on Big. We've got interviews and PSAs about those elections. But the other thing I want to get into are the changes that have been made in local government, in state government. Hasn't been a whole lot, but it's worth noting that starting on May 25th, curbside retail opened. And we're going to talk about that with Lisa in just a minute. Also, office workers were allowed to return in places not named Boston. In both cases, the curbside retail and the office workers, there are additional restrictions, so it's not a free-for-all. Boston office workers can return June 1, again, with all kinds of restrictions. The stay-at-home advisory is now being called a safer at-home advisory, for what that's worth. Several days ago, the House passed a bill that included some language that I filed with Rep. Socolo to allow for virtual town meetings so that the Brookline town meeting being held in late June and other town meetings across the state can go forth virtually via Zoom. or other technology. This is a big deal. Town meeting is a 400-year-old institution. It's never met virtually in history. This is exciting stuff, and this is a great example of sort of Yankee tradition meeting Yankee ingenuity, right? We're old school, but we're into tech. And so I'm really excited to have played a part of that. Getting that passed, the House and Senate have to work out a few differences in the language, and the governor sign it, but I very much expect that will happen. And also I want to thank Jay Gonzalez and moderator Sandy Gatsby for really helping make that language work, really working hard on getting all of the technical details right so we could get that language filed. Lastly, folks who've been parking their cars in Brookline, hey, good for you. As long as you haven't been parking in front of a hydrant or in a handicap spot, it's been like, the Wild West, free for all. That ends June 1st. Starting June 1st, the Brookline police will resume their practice of ticketing cars that are parked past the 2-hour maximum. They will ticket cars that are parked in front of meters that haven't been fed. And they will tow and ticket cars that are parked overnight, just like we used to do. And so for folks who have been parking their cars around Brookline, hey, it's been a different, less enforced period, but we're going back to the way that we do things. And that includes parking your car in a way that is socially acceptable. So starting June 1st, be on the lookout for the parking meter enforcers, be on the lookout for the Brookline PD. They're going to make sure you're putting your car in the right place for the right amount of time. And with that, as we hammer the parking, know that you can get yourself to Brookline Booksmith lots of different ways, cars or not cars. And when you do, you can start buying books curbside. You could have started a few days ago. So, Lisa, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. I know, of course, you're working via Zoom. So maybe you could start by telling us sort of like how long you've been actively managing Booksmith and how that transition has gone. Give us just a minute of background.
Okay. I started at the store in 1999, and I've been managing and or co-owning for the last 10 years or so. Co-owning was more recent. That's maybe 5 or 6 years. So it's been a while. And my mentor, Dana Brigham, who was the long-standing fabulous manager, stepped down, I think it's 2 years ago in May. So I've been making my way without her. Peter and I work with Peter Wynn, who's my fellow co-owner and co-manager. But she left big shoes to fill, and we've been working steadily to do that.
And so you've been a member of the community for some time. You've gotten to know Brookline and the customers and Coolidge Corner more generally. And it's never easy being independent. I can't imagine it's easy being a bookstore in this day and age. But Brookline Booksmith has been, chugging along as an institution. And then COVID starts bubbling up and there's conversations and it's clearly getting worse. And then the governor announces non-essential closures. And what does that do for Booksmith immediately? What are the kinds of things that you and others had to think through and work through in March right away to try to keep Booksmith moving forward?
Well, that's a work in progress, I would say, still. We were actually thriving thanks to our beautiful Brookline community, thriving and growing actually year to year. And we were just poised to take on the Verizon space. We just signed a lease for that. So about to do a huge expansion, have a restaurant, a cafe, bookstore, expand our events. So we were on the cusp of something major and really, really exciting. So this change just kind of stopped us in our tracks, basically. And I think we're still, every day, figuring out another piece of it, because I think that's the way it's been for everybody. What it looked like in March, it certainly didn't look like at the end of March, April, or May. It's shifting and changing all the time as the forecast extends and the implications grow deeper and more serious, for what it means to survive as a in commerce, as a retail business in general. So I think we're learning every day, and I do think that the way in which we pivoted is going to hold us through, but it's going to be leaner. I mean, we're going to have to lean up on everything that we're doing and get a lot more creative, to stay strong. And I do think we'll come through it, and I think we'll come through it beautifully, and we will rely on our community as we always have. They've been phenomenal through this whole process, but I think we're all going to have to be scrappier, more creative, more innovative, and be in it for the long haul, really the long haul, to get to the other side, if that makes sense.
And so, yeah, there's so much to unpack there. Just after St. Patrick's Day, maybe the week later, the closure happened. And it's certainly not the case that Booksmith locked the door, turned out the lights, and disappeared for 2 months. So tell us sort of what the business did, sort of starting the day that the front door was locked, to keep active in the community and to keep meeting customers' needs the best way you can.
So we shifted our events to start creating virtual events and virtual programming, which we're doing, which is growing and accumulating in its power and variety weekly. We kept up our communication through social media. We upped our game. We created what was called the EMO team, which is events marketing online, to get all of our staff working together on Slack. We switched quickly into Zoom and Slack so we could collaborate together pretty intensively, to keep communication with our customers and keep the exchange live. And I think we did a pretty good job at that, really, all of our dedicated staff pushing it forward on Instagram and Twitter, especially, and Facebook. We also switched, there's this company called Bookshop, which came just at the nick of time, really launched in January, but it's a new place in which independent bookstores can sell their books online in a very lovely format that is meant to compete with Amazon. Sexy, savvy, beautiful. So we quickly loaded as many of our best-selling books and our curated collections onto that website, and they generously gave us 30% of the proceeds for every sale that we got there, which has been fantastic. And then Ingram, another distributor, also allowed us to ship from their warehouse directly to customers. So we did a lot of marketing around that we're still open online, even though we're not shipping books ourselves. Our voices are still here. We're still here for you. Share your wishes, requests, needs with us, and we will still try to match the right book to the right customer.
So customers can still communicate to you by telephone, by email, social media. They can call and ask questions. Hey, I'm looking for a great book about this, that, or the other thing, and still get that service. And then even though up until now you haven't been shipping the books from the store, you've still been able to make sales and keep paying employees.
Yes. We weren't taking phone calls because we actually didn't have anybody in the building, but we were definitely responding to emails and responding to social media, and trying to communicate as clearly as we could about where you could still find your favorite books, how we could still be of service. That's changed now, thank goodness. But yeah, we did our best dialogue, and our customers sought us out. We also launched a membership program, which was a really beautiful collaborative effort. And we did a lot, and we did newsletters around that. And we got 600 new members for this wonderful tiered programming that allowed people to, and we earned actually quite a lot of revenue from that. People really investing in their future with us, which was a beautiful thing to see. And we're about to unroll. As soon as our physical store opens, we will offer all those benefits to people. But we created all kinds of cool programming and ways in which to align even more meaningfully. It pushed us to think about the way in which we could join together with our customer base more coherently, and we did do that. So that was amazing as well.
And so you and your co-owner, your partner, you've still been managing the business, but surely there's a division of labor. You're not each doing 50% of each of the tasks. And so how does that work out? Do you have specialties, and how are you able to work together, but still be 6 feet apart?
Yeah, so I'm actually in Maine, so a little bit more than 6 feet apart, because that's where my family is. And when this whole thing went down, Peter very generously said I should be home with my family. So he has been manning, he's our operations manager anyway. I'm the person that is involved with more of the front of the house and the merchandising and the buying, the sort of quality of what we do. And he's involved in the house and the staffing and all of the very important logistics that keep our store thriving. So we had an easy way to sort of split domains. And I shifted into the membership and the marketing and the promotion and the voice and the curation and keeping the joy and the kind of magic of the offering, which is what my specialty is. And he shifted like crazy into what do we need to keep our staff safe? What do we need to keep our customers safe? And he's been working around the clock doing that for the last 2 months too. We both
and so that's changed just this week. Now that curbside sales are open again across the state, I asserted that Booksmith is doing it. I didn't actually ask, are you selling books curbside now? And if
yes.
So, how's that going?
Yes, it's a very happy day. It's going well. We're still adjusting, as I was saying. I feel like every day is a whole new set of adjustments. No matter how much ground we gain, the next day has a whole new set of challenges. So it's going really well, but we're backed up. So we're about 2 days behind now because the demand is high, and the distributors are slower. There's the works are jammed up all across the board, right? So we normally we pride ourselves on the better than expected customer experience. And now we just all have to bow before this slower pacing and the puzzles and the questions. And so that's a little bit hard on everybody, but it's going great. Customers are really happy. We're very happy to be in the store. And we're planning on just upping our game. We're working on redesigning our website right now so that we can have a really lovely, simple, easy, effective e-commerce site because we have much of what we do outside of books is gifts. We have a lovely gift presentation in the store, and we would like to make those available to folks online too. So we're working on that as we speak. And we're going to start creating care packages and doing more sophisticated curation for our community once we acclimate to the rigors of the new system, which is right now we're open from 10 to 4 for curbside pickup. All the payment transactions have to happen over the phone because we're trying to keep everybody as safe as we can and have no touch transactions. But so far it's going really well. We just started a new program called Ask a Bookseller. So I am now manning the computer at home in Maine with answering doing specialized recommendations throughout the day. I started at 5:30 this morning. They're pouring in, and I'm using our team. We have a team of 40 plus, individuals who work for us, all of whom we've retained. So we're just straddling to adjust and give everybody a space in this new world, despite the varying skills that we all have and experience that we all have.
So let's say that a customer calls and they say, I want to buy Brookline resident Eitan Hirsch's Politics is for Power. That's the book that I want to buy. This one actually does come from the Booksmith, believe it or not. Oh, look, there's the receipt right here. There it is. Bought it at the Booksmith. Let's say a customer calls and says, this is the book I want. Here's my credit card. Walk us through what that looks like on your end.
What that looks like on our end is we say fabulous. If we have the book in stock, which hopefully we do, but our stock has been depleted over this time that we haven't been having deliveries. If we have the book in stock, we say we have it, fantastic. We process the transaction and it'll be ready for pickup for you within the hour. And then said person comes and there's somebody at the door where the pickups are all ready to go, and you'll let them know what you, in a safe, socially distanced way. We have tape and everything kind of lined up. We'll put the package out and that person will take it away with them. And I say this as a guesstimation because I'm actually not there. I haven't been in the store for 2 months. I've seen images, I've seen the tape, and that's what I've been told we're doing, but I think that's basically the process. If we don't have
the Tommy Vitolo's investigative journalism show may try this out, but that's not a thing.
That would be cool. That would be wonderful.
So what if you don't have it in stock? What if you say,
we don't
great
have
book, already sold out? You just tell them go somewhere else.
You order
it
right away. Yes, of course. Yes, we order it for you. Or if it's a used book, we get it for you from the used bookseller. You know, we're now able to sell our used books and our remainders as well, which we weren't able to do before. And if you want a gift item, if you need a bowl, if you need something for an outdoor family gathering, if you can simply, we will spend as much time as we need to ascertain what it is exactly that you're looking for and give you the best set of opportunities and possibilities for that exact thing. Whether it's a journal or a calendar or an apron or a great little Boston mug that you saw at Christmas time, we'll figure it out for you. That's what we're there to do and happy to do.
So you're back in business. You're selling at the door, which works better for some things than others, right? You're losing out on book browsers who need the smell of pages to know what to buy, and your other offerings, you're not quite there yet. So what do we expect in June? How do you think things are going to evolve? How will the customer experience be better as we get through June?
That is the mystery question. I think that we've been thinking all along about how to open the store up when we can accept customers in the store. We're going to re-merchandise the store. We're going to open up the aisles. We're going to do our merchandising differently. We're going to have more spaced out books. We're going to have possibilities for viewing and experiencing the joy of browsing to the extent that that's still possible without touching. We're going to try to, convey a safe, beautiful space, and make it such that people can feel comfortable walking through the store safely. And that's all that we have right now, is that we're really deeply committed to keeping the best of what Booksmith has always offered and honoring the new restrictions. And those restrictions are not just the state mandated guidelines, but they're actual psychological experiences, or what we've all had to adjust to. How do you browse when you don't feel that comfortable, when you feel unsafe, or when the whole joy of just being free in a space is challenged, right? So that's what we're thinking a lot about, is how to create a magical, safe place that respects each and every person that comes into the store, and still opens up possibilities for spontaneity and felicity and the magic of discovery and exploration and all of those wonderful things that people always have come to us for. We want to really lean into doing that in the right way, and even to like being a leader in that new kind of offering. It's our goal.
Lots to navigate, and I'm sure it's as you said, it's a day by day, adapt, try new things, experiment. I pitched a book today. My friend and neighbor Eitan Hirsch's book. You got any books for us? What should we be reading?
Oh, for everybody right now, gosh. That's a good question. I'm actually reading old books, and many people that I know are also doing that. We're going back and reading classics. Like I've been reading W.G. Sebald. I don't know if you know his books, or I was reading Virginia Woolf before that. Just reading old classics because there's a different kind of time right now, and we haven't actually been able to even to get the new titles into our store yet. So everything that came after March 15th has been suspended. So I've actually been encouraging people to go into the past or go onto their bookshelves and find out what's actually already there. I know that that's not good for business. But following your own line of inquiry, and now is a time I think actually that we all have to go a little deeper, because the pacing has slowed, and we're not having all these endless dialogues with people across town all day, and you can actually go deeper into a passion that you have. So if your passion is politics, you can click the Ask a Bookseller tab on our webpage today, and I will give you the top 15 books in that category that you can peruse.
Lisa Gozashti from Brookline Booksmith, thank you for taking a few minutes out of running one of Brookline's favorite institutions to talk with us. Once again, I am Representative Tommy Vitolo. You can call me at 617-872-8921. You can email me at tommy.vitolo@mahouse.gov. And you can call me anytime. I know how to turn the ringer off. And you can reach out to me about COVID-19 related issues and all the other issues that you think I might be able to give you a hand with. We're all doing the best we can. Booksmith is doing the best they can. I urge everyone to continue to be safe. Wear your mask. That means covering your nose and your mouth. It doesn't do much good on your neck. Practice your social distancing. Keep washing those hands. And as we start to get back into things, remember, if the infection rate goes up again, we're going to have to take a big screeching halt, and we don't want that. We want to beat this thing, and that means everybody has a role to play. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing a great job with it. Give me a call or an email if there's anything I can do for you, and be safe. Thanks to Brookline Interactive for hosting, and thank you, Lisa. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. See you next time.